From Endolite, a breakthrough in prosthetic design and philosophy. The Echelon prosthetic foot has been developed by Blatchford, the world's most experienced manufacturer in prosthetics. Controlled by hydraulic pressure, the angle of the ankle duplicates a natural foot action. Each day I find something that I can do more comfortably than I could do the day before.
And I took my first step and it gripped the ground. It was a complete shock. Within about 2 minutes I was used to it. I was charging up and down slopes, the sort of thing I would never usually do.
But the Echelon just helped me to get through the pain barrier. It took that away completely.
It's like going back to 2 legs, to having your natural leg back in function. Echelon has a unique variable angle, hydraulically controlled ankle. It uses a carefully researched synthesis of cutting-edge Formula One racing materials for lightness and durability, for resilience and flexion. Taken from nature, developed using biomimetics, the ankle flexion gives supreme adaptability.
The first thing we did was ask ourselves, well, how are the natural joints controlled? We've used the gait analysis instruments to understand the effect that prosthesis has on posture. And what we found is that we can produce a much more natural control of posture when you use Echelon. And we can see dynamically how the force is carried through the prosthesis.
In a conventional prosthetic foot, the angle of the ankle remains in a neutral position, with the result that during swing phase, the toe effectively drags unless the prosthesis is raised abnormally to clear the ground. This leads to additional call on remaining muscles and abnormal stress on the skeletal joints, which stress the body unnecessarily.
Conventionally, our foot is aligned relative to the body. It has a specific geometrical position. But suddenly, with the introduction of hydraulics, we're actually removing one of these restrictions. It became clear that actually with the correct alignment, we then would be able to facilitate this natural adaptive behaviour.
We can see with this conventional foot that there is no adaptation of the foot to stay flat on the floor in a variety of sitting positions. The toe stays raised at a fixed angle to the leg. Under the same circumstances, Echelon adapts. As the foot stays flat, there is less strain on stump and muscles and a more stable platform for a subsequent rise and walk away.
The adaptive quality of the hydraulics means that it can generate different forces at different angular positions. But the hydraulics will move to self-align to facilitate this natural posture.
A conventional foot forces the leg to one position. This can be optimized for walking on the flat, but it would not adapt to an incline and will force an unnatural posture and so stress the rest of the body. We can see with this conventional foot that the body is swaying from the hip to maintain balance on this incline. But the posture is straight with Echelon. This translates into easier and stress-free walking on a variety of slopes.
With the Echelon foot, it goes straight down and you don't unlock the knee, and it's very safe. You can go up and down the hill easily, especially coming downhill. Because I live particularly in a little village with quite a hill in it. So I can just walk out the front door and walk up the hill and down the hill without having to crab up and down sideways. It's just so easy.
I did go to a concert where it was standing only, and it was Hammersmith Apollo, and I hadn't realised it sloped. Sort of thing I would usually throw in the towel and say, I just can't do this. But I managed an hour and a half standing up and feeling secure because my foot was gripping the ground.
With your walking, and you know, if you are losing a little bit of your energy when you're planting your foot, obviously that's putting more strain on the muscles everywhere else, especially the back and your hips. So obviously if you've got something there that's like the Echelon that is responding to how you want to walk and how your body naturally wants to walk, it helped me. It does ease that. You don't get as much pain or the aching as such.
I used to tend to rock my weight between one leg and the other. I don't tend to do that so much now. I just bend my knees if I'm standing in a fixed position, and it takes the load off, the pressure off my legs and thighs. For cycling, it's made a major difference. It allows your body to move over your knee and your toe when you're cycling, particularly when you're standing up and going up and down a hill.
Yeah, you know, again, another dimension to it. It's just another thing that it's good for. Just general outdoor things. It's yeah, it's just each day I find something that I can do more comfortably than I could do the day before or before I had this leg.
It's great that somebody is sitting in a computer or with a computer or in a lab somewhere, still trying to make things better, and this is a quantum leap in quality.
The mechanical design team and hydraulic design team are an extraordinary challenge in developing this foot, because it's extraordinarily difficult to design a structure that mimics the way the natural body does, but can also withstand repetitively all the impact loads that we see in natural food. So we want to go through a lot of testing to ensure that we were generating the correct resilience in the ankle, but also that it will withstand the prolonged use in the field. And what we found with the hydraulics introduced in the ankle is a very new way of understanding and analysing the biomechanics of feet.
With your leg, it affects everything right through your pelvis up to your back and your spine and through to your neck, because what you'll find is your upper body counterbalances the rest. So for everything to be very symmetrical and level, it was very surprising that came from just a foot.
The Echelon is different because we conceived it from the outset to be optimum or self-optimizing for a wide range of environments. And it then gets back into this philosophy about biomimetics, tapping into and harnessing and promoting the natural adaptive behaviour that we see in nature.
In two particular factors, and one of those is key. First of all is the manoeuvring of the bike, especially this one. It's quite a heavy bike and it's quite high up, so that the ability of the ankle to move allows me, when I'm pushing the bike backwards and forwards, it's more natural and allows me to balance the bike better when I'm manoeuvring, so that makes it a lot easier. The other aspect is being able to stand up on the pegs. Now, not that you do that often on the road, but off-road, that's quite key again for manoeuvring a bike. With the Echelon, you can flex the knees, you can stand up, you can jump up and down on the pegs. It makes a big difference. But actually having a limb that is more natural in the gait, so you're not having to adjust your gait to suit the limb's suiting it to you, if you can imagine that. You feel more comfortable, therefore you're more happy to do things within it. As you've seen when we went flying just a minute ago. Climbing up quite a steep hill on rough terrain, carrying a substantial weight. You do that with a fixed ankle, it becomes very, very difficult. You really are having to think about putting one leg in front of the other and throwing yourself forward over the top of the limb, whereas with this new leg, you're walking as you would do normally. But the transition phase is almost going from a learned experience back to historical experience. So you adjust to accommodate the limbs that I had in the past. But with this, it was going back to not walking normally, and it's nothing short of an epiphany, really.
It's a concept where the solutions are inspired by nature directly. The Echelon foot actively manages the forces that are transmitted through to the socket, and therefore the whole activity of walking over different environments becomes more efficient.
If you move from one ground to another, where you've got different angles and your body shape is different, the Echelon does whatever area and what sort of ground you're on, it aligns itself perfectly to your body angle, your weight, and where the alignment is.
The outcome of having an adaptable system is that you no longer need to think about what kind of shoes you're wearing, or even think about what environment you're walking or standing in, because the hydraulics of the ankle simulates the adaptive qualities of the muscle and becomes altogether a natural way of walking.
It was unbelievably smooth, really. So, I was just like well happy with it. Didn't know what, I don't really get in with the technical stuff, but it was just, yeah, what I wanted.